What's up everyone, this is NZGM here, and today I am gonna be doing something a little bit more different. Now usually I should be doing this in my second channel, but I want to do this in my main channel. Now as you guys already know, Fire Emblem Awakening was probably released 2013, 2013, and it was an amazing game. Due to the fact that it had an interesting story, the marriage support, and all those DLC downloadable content that was put into the game that were really amazing. So top 10 list. It's gonna be the top 10 most useful Fire Emblem Awakening characters throughout the story. Now these characters are only if you get in the story. We're not gonna be including the future kids because that's for the side. That's the side quest. We're only gonna be doing for like the whole game itself. Mostly for the adults. And no, we're not including Chrome or the Avatar for this one. Remember, this is just an opinion base. So let us get started. Number 10, Virion, if I'm saying his name right. Virion, as you get him from the second chapter. I forgot the name of the second chapter. It's like that romantic guy that wants to find true love, but you know he could be annoying as hell. Throughout the game, you might consider him being useless, but then once you upgrade him a lot more often, he is actually pretty useful. For example, if you happen to put him in a boat as a bone knight, he'll be really useful. Even despite that he doesn't have good skills that he can't actually learn, such as Luna, Astra, or all those other ones. If you put him as a bone knight, he could be a really awesome offense unit. And as for the skills, you could actually give him the skills, which is the bow flare, the lance breaker for swords, and some of the DLC skills such as all stats +2, resistance +10, and a Zalgor, which will make him pretty useful and throughout the story if you happen to upgrade him. Number 9, Brecon or Rickon. During chapter 5 or 6, you get Rickon. Or you get Rickon, that little boy who wants to grow up and become a really good mage. Well, in the beginning, he starts to become as weak due to the fact that he is with Maribel, like on the very side, and you have to save him, and he can't really defend himself. However, if you happen to train him correctly, he will be an awesome mage wizard. Well, due to the fact that I have classed him as the Dark Knight, he is very useful in his skills. Yes, his strength isn't that much to begin with, but the magic is really good. For example, if you happen to reclass his class multiple times, he'll get very good skills such as Aegis, Luna, and Tome Flare, which increases the magic by 5. And of course, if you give him magic +2, which gives him more magic, and all stats +2, he'll become a really useful Dark Knight and throughout the battle. But if you wanted to get the DLCs, you need to download them. And if you're just a beginner, you can try other skills along with it. Number 8, Lone Quill, if I'm saying his name right. Lone Quill, that Swords Master where you get him in chapter 4. Yes, the one who is not very good with the women. He doesn't want to be near them. He doesn't want to get into any relation to them, you know, due to his past girlfriend, I believe. Lone Quill is a really good swordsman, and he could be useful in any ways. No matter what class you change him, even into assassin, he will be really good useful. For example, if you just made him as a sword master, he will be a really good swordsman. For example, if you happen to give him the skill Astra, Lucky 7, Sword Flare, and Lance Breaker. Yes, due to the fact he has really good speed and skill, he could be a really good powerhouser as a sword master, and he'll have like many crits, and due to the luck base and the strength. He'll be so good that he'll be unstoppable to stop, unless somebody as fast as him can get to him. Number 6, Lissa. You know, Lissa's Chrome's sister. That is right. The one that my friend calls it as teacher's pet. Yes, yeah. She starts out there being like a little brat in the beginning of the story, and she's like the only cleric that you have in the Lissa can be a very good, useful war cleric. The war cleric of her is really good. For example, if you put her as a war cleric, sure, 38 strength at max, and her magic is going to be only like 42. If you give her the right skills such as Miracle, Renewal, Heal Touch, and Gale Force, which she can learn as a Dark Flyer, should be a really good war cleric to be heal, to be supporter and offense unit. And if you happen to get the weapon Bolt Axe, it should be more powerful enough to defend herself, which is a really good way to make Alyssa an important supporter and defender of herself. Number 6, Genius, or as known as Sugar Boy. That is the chapter he is like known as the thief, which not to steal gold but to steal candy, like a little kid, and during Halloween. Genius is a sweethearted guy who does care for his fellow members, but if you wanted him to do something, you know, as in a thief way, you have to pay him as gold. No, not gold, candy, of course. A really good avoider in situations. For example, if you make him just an assassin, he'll be really good in his skill and speed. Yes, of course, due to his low defense and resistance, he'll be pretty much unavoidable if you use him the right way. And for the right skills, if you happen to give him movement +1, pass, Lethany, and Lucky 7, and if you go for the DLC skill, resistance +10, he would not be get killed in one strike as a really high mage when he's about to get killed. And plus, he'll have massive crit due to giving him a killing edge or a killing bow. He will take out enemies like in a sweep of a moment, which makes Genius a really good, useful assassin. Number 5, Olivia. That is right, Olivia, that shy dancer that doesn't want to be seen when she's doing her dance routine, and you basically get her when you beat the chapter in Chrome with Chrome, and she comes along with it, and then at the end of the chapter you get her. Now, as for Olivia's case, she is considered to be weak, like of course due to her poor stats. However, if you give her the right stats and the right skills, she'll be very, very useful. For example, if you just leave her as a dancer alone, she'll be really good. But if you change her to other classes, she'll be more useful. But you don't have that dance support. She is more likely to be useful as a support and a little bit on offense, just like Lissa. But for example, if you change your class multiple times, you can give her good skills such as Sword Flare, Astra, Gale Force, and Special Dance. And then if you have the DLC pack, you could get Limit Breaker, which increases her stats more higher, and she'll be very, very useful. And the rating will be 320, which will be a more of a tier along with with the Avatar and Chrome alone, which makes her a very good supporter and very useful character. Plus with the luck stat, it's really good for her not to get killed by crits. Number 4, Saul. I'm not sure if I'm saying his name right. That is right, Saul. That horse rider. When you get him in chapter 3, and it comes along with Sully. I believe with Saul. Saul is a really good character if you make it the right class. However, as Saul to be a really good character, you don't have to make him as a horse rider. However, this is just my opinion base. If you make him to an archer, he will be really, really powerful. He'll be a sweeper, just like no doubt. For example, if you make him as a sniper, and if you give him the right skills such as Luna and Bow Flare, and along with the DLC skills such as All Stats +2, Resistance +10, and Limited Breaker, his skill will be will be at 61 max. It's actually 59, but if you give him all stats plus 2, it will be 61 skill. Sure, the speed is around 52, and the strength is like actually 60, but the strength is 50. But if you give him the bow flare and all stats plus 2, it will be plus 7, which will be 60. And the resistance, he has low resistance, but if you give him a resistance plus 10, it will be around in the 50s. It will be an amazing sweeper when it comes to be an archer, and he'll be unstoppable to be stopped unless somebody will attack him front end. Number 3, Thalja, or I would like to call her the Queen of Darkness. That is right. I'm just gonna call her the Queen of Darkness from here on. Now the Queen of Darkness, you get her around in chapter 9 or 10, I believe so. And of course you need to recruit her by going to her Brecon, and she'll come with you, you know, as of for now. She is more of that yandere type of girl, people will call it. She wants to have somebody of her own, but at the same time, if somebody tries to steal her, she will kill that person. You know, as in Yandere Simulator. Yeah, Tharjai, or Queen of Darkness, is a really good character if you know how to use it correctly. And the class for her, for perfect class, is a Dark Knight. Now the reason why for Dark Knight, because you won't have the ability to use dark magic, but if you make her as a Dark Knight, she'll be a really powerful Dark Knight. Just like Rickon's case, but she'll be more useful. For example, if you give her the skills Tonebreaker, Life Taker, Vengeance, and of course the DLC stat and the DLC skills, all stats plus 2, and Limited Breaker, she will be a powerhouser. And as for the skill, it will be 49 plus 2 will be 51. She can use Vengeance more, like a lot of times every time you use it, because Vengeance will work if the skill stats is times 2. She can use it immediately, no matter what. And of course, she has the movement plus 8, and her defense is really good. She could be a really good offense unit to wipe out any enemy units with low resistance and low defense. Number 2, Donald. That is right, Donald. Now I consider the Donald to be in list number 2, but as for Donald's case, he is known as the village idiot. That's what my friend Chris will say. But also he is a village hero. It's because I got somebody that is also my personal favorite and favorite one. But anyways, Donald is a really good overpowered character. He is like really unstoppable. Well, sure, that side map when you get him the first time, he is considered to be really weak, and he's very hard to train. But if you happen to train him enough to consider to be overpowered, he will be really good. For example, if you just have his class, if you reclass him so many times and you have the right skills, make him as a hero, and the skills will have arm shift, if I'm saying that right, soul, axe breaker, and counter. Also for limited breaker, and he has very amazing luck stat. The luck stat, if you give him limited breaker, it would be 58 max. I wish it was 60. His strength is really good, like as in the 53, the skill 55, the resistance is very good. His stats are basically balanced in the right to be a very good useful unit. As for becoming a hero, he'll be him alone can take on an entire army. Just like that, except for Prame's army, because it's kind of a little difficult. And number 1, Maribel. That is right, Maribel, the rich spoiled brat that wants something of her own. I believe, I think so. Now I consider Maribel to be one of my favorite characters in the game. She wasn't really my favorite character in the game itself. However, if you happen to give her the right skills, she'll be a powerhouser due to magic. For example, If you just make her into a Valkyria, and then I've given the right skills such as Tone Flare, Gale Force, all stats +2, magic +2, and Limit Breaker, her magic will be an outstanding sweep. Then of course she can't learn any skills, and even if you give her a book, she wouldn't use any skills. It don't matter. She'll be a powerhouser of a magic wielder. Even if somebody has high magic, high resistance, she could still take down that enemy just like that, a blink of an eye. Plus she'll be also a very good supporter with healing magic. And of course, if you take down the enemy unit with Gale Force in the next turn, and if somebody is literally about to die, you use a healing staff and heal them right away. She'll be a very good supporter and a very good offense character. However, her defense is not really top notch. So you might as well have to be careful with her because of her defense. But the resistance and the magic, all perfect, and the speed is very good as well. So hopefully you guys enjoy my top 10 Fire Emblem Awakening story mode characters. Yes, and I know I stutter a lot in the video, but hey. But hey, it's really good. It's really good to be doing this. I wanted to share my opinion on how this. Next time I'll be doing top 5 favorite children, future kid children's, or like parents that producing the children. So yes, if you enjoyed this list, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on my Twitter. It'll be in the link in the description below. Share this with your friends and family, see what they think. And as always, you guys, stay tuned for the next video. This is AMCGM here, and I am out of here. Peace!